Greetings to all. Today we are going to see about the topic choosing the chart type. Choosing the right chart type for data visualization, we have the five categories. First one, comparison. If your goal is to be compared values or show the relationship between the two categories of the data points, we have to follow these charts. First one, bar chart, column chart, line chart, scatter plot, then bubble chart. Next one is the composition. When you want to represent the composition or the distribution of data, consider the following chart types. Here, pie chart, stack bar or the column chart. Next one, area chart. Third one, distribution. To visualize the distribution of data and understand its spread, we have to consider histogram, box plot, violin chart. Then fourth one, relationship. When you want to illustrate the relation between the variables and highlight the pattern, we have to consider these chart types. Here we have scatter plot, heat map, network graph. Uh, then fifth one, geographic. If your data has a geographic component, we have to use a choropleth map, point map, and flow map. First one, bar chart. Ideal for comparing discrete categories or grouping of data using vertical or horizontal bars. It is useful for displaying the frequencies, count, or magnitude comparison. Here is the example. Here they're comparing plant 1, 2, and 3. Next one, column chart. Column chart, similar to the bar chart, but with the vertical bars only, suitable for same types of comparison. Next one, line chart. Line chart, it is useful for showing the trends and change over the time. It can also be used to compare the multiple data series. Here is the example. It is the example of product sale. Here they describe their years and then values. Next one, scatter plot. Scatter plot shows the relationship between the two continuous variables where each data points represent the individual observation, useful for identifying the correlation or cluster in data. Here is the example. Next one, bubble chart, similar to the scatter plot, but with the additional dimension represented by the size of the bubbles, useful for visualizing the three variables simultaneously. Here it is a example. This is a series 1, 2, and 3. 4. Series are represented in 4 different colors. Next one, pie chart, shows the proportion or the percentage of the whole, where each category represents a slice of the pie. Here it is an example. That is a age group they are representing in the pie chart. Next one, scan stock bar or the column chart. It displays the composition of the whole category by stacking the bars or the columns of each subcategory. It is useful for showing the relationship between the parts and the whole. Here it is the compare sales strategy. Product A, product B, product C, and product D. 4 products are visualized in 4 different colors. Next one, area chart. It is suitable for visualizing the cumulative effect or composition of multiple data series over time. Here it is an example, sales order analysis. Each color represent each product. Next one, histogram, displays the frequency or the count of values within the predefined intervals or the pins, and also it shows the shape of the distribution, identifies the peak or outlier. Here is the example. It is a age group and then count. Here each were represent the male and the female, and each color represent. And the next one, box plot provides a summary of the distribution, central tendency, spread, and outliers. It includes the features such as quadrilates, medians, and whiskers. Here it is an example. It is a house price in Bangalore. It is not constant. The range between the values. Next one, violin plot, similar to the box plot. but it also shows the kernel density estimation of the data. It provides a combination of the box plot and the distribution plot. Here it is the example. Here it represents the temperature. And then one scatter plot, effective for visualizing the relationship between the two continuous variables. Each point represents an observation and the patterns can indicate the correlation and the trends. Here it is an example. Next one, heat map, shows the magnitude of the variable across the two dimension, often using the color intensity, useful for displaying the patterns or relationship in large data sets. Here we have the example for heat map. Next one, network graph, displays the relationship between the nodes and the edges. It is useful for visualizing the complex relationship such as social networks and the interconnected systems. Next one, chloropleat map. It uses the color shade or the patterns to represent the data values associated with the specific geographic regions such as countries, states, and the postal codes. Here it is an example. Next one, point map, displays the individual data points on the map using marketers or the symbols to represent each point location and the association data. And last one is the flow map, shows the movement of a flow between the geographic location using lines or arrows to indicate the direction and the intensity of the movement. Thank you.